Welcome back to DG Bricks. Today we're going to be talking about every LEGO Speed Champions set retiring in 2023. The information that I'm using is the April Brick Fanatics retirement list. Speed Champions is one of the most exciting themes to talk about when talking about LEGO investing, because this theme has performed remarkably consistently in terms of generating winners in retirement. Nothing I'm saying is financial advice. All investing involves risk, and you are solely responsible for that risk. First on the list, we have the 76900 Koenigsegg Jesko, or Jesko. This car is a holdover from the June 2021 wave of Speed Champions, so by the time it retires at the end of 2023, it will have been on shelves for 30 months, which is just shy of the 33 months of sets like the McLaren Senna, the Ferrari F40, and the Chevy Camaro. The last of the 6 stud holdovers with the extra long shelf life have performed absolutely terribly in retirement. The price has gone nowhere. Koenigsegg is an exotic manufacturer making very small production numbers, meaning that whoever goes out of their way to buy this relatively obscure Speed Champions set is probably buying this in place of buying this multi-million-dollar exotic car. And this is a lot different, I think, than the motivation of aftermarket buyers for cars like the Ford Fiesta, the retiring Supra set, or any Corvette Speed Champions. With those sets, I think a buyer may be looking for a companion to their actual real-life car, or a gift for someone they know who owns a particular type of classic car. The new bump in price up to $24.99 for single car Speed Champions sets could make this car more easily viewable as a $25 or $30 car. The design is a bit funky, the exhaust looks really good to me. This is not my favorite Speed Champions set, but I'll definitely be buying some to diversify my portfolio. The next retiring set this year is the 76901 Toyota GR Supra. When I first saw that LEGO was making a Supra, I was super hyped because I thought it shared all of the hype that the Bronco did. However, this set launched June of 2021. Some thought it might retire at the end of 2022, but it has been held back, and by the time it retires, it will have a 2.5-year shelf life, which is not very good for the Speed Champions theme. The Speed Champions GTR that retired at the end of 2021 was the first ever Speed Champion of any Japanese make of automobile. This set had a little bit of a slow start to retirement, but more recently it has absolutely taken off. $20 MSRP, currently going for $54.50, just over a year, not even a year and a half into retirement. You can see on the graph, pretty much for the first 8 or 9 months, there was a lot of stagnation, but it looks like in Q4 of 2022 and even into 2023, the price on this has really picked up. So this GTR was the first ever Nissan, which has absolutely crushed it, and the 76901 Toyota Supra is the first ever Toyota. This car, I think, has a great chance to do extremely well in the aftermarket because unlike some of the more exotic Speed Champions entries, Toyota has made thousands and thousands of this car and released them into the market, especially in North America. I've seen these cars relatively frequently. A lot of Supra owners are pretty enthusiastic about their platform. Once this set is no longer available at Amazon or other major retailers, I could see any Supra owner being willing to pay easily $100 to have a copy of their car for their living room coffee table. But way more importantly than that, as the first ever Toyota Speed Champion, this set is the set that will be purchased by any dealerships, any sort of corporate events, any sort of enthusiast events. I believe Toyota is, if not the largest, one of the largest vehicle manufacturers. I looked it up. It looks like Toyota actually did over 8 million production units in 2022. The potential network of just dealership employees, just people who work directly with the Toyota brand, is 100 times larger with this set compared to the Koenigsegg. While I don't personally love the yellow color, it's obvious that yellow Speed Champions can do well, so I'm going to discard that personal bias when considering this LEGO set for investment. LEGO seems to be really focusing Speed Champions on movie tie-ins and high-performance exotic cars, but I think there's an argument to be made for making more sets like this sports-oriented variants of regular cars that you see on the road. Things like the Ford Fiesta and the GR Supra just make me long for an E30 M3, a Civic Type R, a Miata, or maybe even a G-Wagon. They already did the Lamborghini Urus back in 2021, which proves that they're willing to do a Speed Champions SUV. The G-Wagon would appeal to many customers across the globe since this is a totally iconic, ubiquitous vehicle. And with the new $25 Speed Champions price point, I would love to see them try for a little bit more ambitious of a design. So there you have it, 76901 Toyota Supra, a bit of a mixed bag. If you enjoyed this content, please hit the subscribe button. Next, we have the 76906 1970 Ferrari 512M. This is yet another red Ferrari. I like that it's very vintage, sort of like the 1985 Audi. Looks like an ARC 170 windscreen piece used back in 7259, the original ARC 170 from 2005 version. It's not the exact same piece, but it's not quite true to the original design. And you can see that just from the back of the box. You can look at the sub-theme pricing on Brick Economy to break down the different brands of manufacturers. Keep in mind that with sample sizes these small, in fact, even the Ferrari sample size of 10 is not really enough data, but you can easily see that the Ferrari Ferrari sub-theme is not the highest performer. You can see an average annual growth rate in the 10 sets included here of 12.37%, which is notably lower than the 16.36% of Porsche. Again, only 7 sets there, not the most complete data set. It does seem like certain Ferrari Speed Champion sets can really thrive, like the Ferrari F8 Tributo, but it also seems like just because a Speed Champion set bears the Ferrari branding does not necessarily make it a success. We've seen this with the F40. So you'll have to do your own due diligence, calculate your own risks, and come up with a LEGO investing strategy that suits your own needs. For me, I'm okay with the risk. I'll certainly be buying a handful of this LEGO set for investment. Next, we have the Lotus Evija. This set is beautiful with its dark green color. I do dislike the one major design flaw, which is that the yellow line flowing through the canopy is misaligned. This design is rather average when you consider the construction of other Speed Champion sets. Lotus is a really boutique manufacturer. Only something on the order of 2,000 vehicles are built in an entire year. Meanwhile, in the real world, Toyota sold 4,000 to 6,000 Supras alone. This is also a new manufacturer for the Speed Champions theme. The last time this happened, it was with the Jaguar, the Panasonic 2-pack, the Target exclusive. I let those cars slip between my grasp. Now they've gone from $30 to $60 real quick. So for this reason, I'm hesitant to totally discount a new manufacturer in the Speed Champions theme. With that in mind, I will definitely be diversifying and picking up a handful of this awesome Lotus set. The next set retiring, the 76910, Aston Martin Valkyrie AMR Pro, and the Aston Martin Vantage GT3. This is the expensive 2-car set at $44.99 US instead of the Mercedes F1 set. That $35 set is not retiring this year, but the Aston Martin $45 set is. I found this set to be hard to find on a good sale, more than about 20% off. With the smaller Speed Champions, I'm not as hesitant to get them at 20% because the difference between 20% and say 40% is only $4 on a $20 Speed Champion. With these larger sets though, it really does become critical to get them at as good of a discount as possible. I'm waiting to see just how good of a sale is seen before deciding how deep to go on this set. This set uses unique and ambitious build techniques, especially for the green Valkyrie car. While I do believe the design on this looks a little bit busted, I love the design of the Vantage. The use of teeth pieces in the front grille in lime green is an absolutely hilarious touch. And the Vantage also has this great dark bluish gray color scheme. Almost reminds me of what Audi calls a Nardo gray. It looks great on real cars, and you know what? I think it also looks great on this LEGO car. This is also a high dollar Speed Champion set, and for that reason, I could see a lot of collectors as well as investors passing on this set. I expect that down the road, this will be a relatively rare set, and correspondingly, I think the value will be tremendously higher than what it is right now. So, like I said before, I'm gonna wait to see what kind of sale is available before deciding how deep to go on this set. Now we're getting to the good stuff. We have the 76911 007 Aston Martin DB5. Just the front box alone, the Aston Martin with the 007 branding, LEGO Speed Champions. You have the set information bottom left. I mean, just the box alone on this set, it is a bit thinner than some of the other Speed Champions. It's the same length and width of the box, but it's just a little bit less deep. Still at 298 pieces for the $20 price point, decent price per piece. In fact, better than the Koenigsegg, and in fact, just the same as the Supra. Launching in August of 2022. If it retires at the end of the year, this set will have an incredibly short shelf life for the Speed Champions theme, only 16 months. The James Bond character and the 007 brand brings so much to this set. It's an intersection of Aston Martin owners with James Bond enthusiasts. It's absolutely crazy. This set also has some of the best curves on a small scale that LEGO Speed Champions has ever done. If it does indeed retire at the end of 2023, you can expect a handful of LEGO investors to be hoarding very high quantities of this set. However, the narrow window of opportunity and time with which LEGO collectors could have gotten this set for a low price does make me think that the price will skyrocket after retirement. As it's only April, it's possible this information could change as the year goes on. The last set to retire this year, the 76912 Fast and Furious 1970 Dodge Charger RT with the Dominic Toretto minifigure. LEGO never does Dodges particularly well with the shaping, and this one is no different. I don't like the way that the plates stack up very visibly. You can see the lines separating the plates in the construction. Along the sides of the car and the doors, I just really dislike that look. Makes this car look sort of pinstriped, very narrow striped in a way that it really shouldn't. I really like the part count, especially for this old MSRP of $20. The Dom fig also stands out as a cut above the usual Speed Champions driver figures. If we look up some price history for this set, we can see that Amazon has never discounted it from its MSRP. It seems that buyers are easily willing to pay $25, $30, even $40 for this set. So I would expect after it retires, this set would reach at least $40, but you can be sure sometime around September, October, November, maybe December, it will be available on sale at least 20% off. Fast 10 will be hitting theaters in May of this year, and then Fast 11 has been revealed to be happening, but there's no release date. These movies take hundreds of millions of dollars to make and multiple years, so assuming Fast 11 comes out in 2025 or 2026, that would coincide with this Fast and Furious set hitting 1 to 2 years of full retirement. If this set retires at the end of 2023, it'll have a 16-month shelf life just like the Aston Martin DB5 before. I think that all of the things this set has going for it could overcome the Dodge curse of LEGO Speed Champions and make this the best performing LEGO Speed Champions Dodge product of all time. And if I can scoop up maybe 10 of these sets at $16 each, I don't think it's unrealistic for them to be $60 or $70 3 to 4 years down the road. I like this set way better than I like the larger $100 or $120 Technic build of this car. I'm also looking at new releases when I'm deciding which of the old Speed Champions releases to invest in. I'm paying attention because like the new Too Fast, Too Furious 76917 Paul Walker's Nissan Skyline R34 GTR. God, that's a mouthful. They should have just called it Paul Walker's Nissan Skyline. But LEGO just had to hit all the SEO with this set name. Look how small they have to print it on the box just to get all those words on there. Of the new 2023 Speed Champions arrivals, including this set, none will be retiring at the end of the year. So we'll have another year to get our hands on these new $24.99 MSRP Speed Champions. Also notably absent from the retirement list so far is the 76908 Lamborghini Countach. This is the white Wolf of Wall Street Lamborghini. This is a cool car, and the LEGO design team obviously did a worthy job of translating this tricky design into a brick-based form. It's an obvious winner, but it's probably more hoarded than the other Speed Champions, and if it does stick around into 2024, as expected, I could see this set being very, very hoarded. I checked the sales rank, and this set does sell a lot more volume than either the Ferrari Speed Champion, way more than the Lotus, and way more than the Supra. I could totally see them doing a huge Technic supercar, Wolf of Wall Street, white Lamborghini. I think if they do anything like that in the next 5 years, this Speed Champions car will become insanely desirable. Also missing from the retirement list this year, the Mercedes 1 AMG dual pack. The cheaper of the dual packs at $34.99. I really like this set, even though I'm not an F1 fan or much of a racing fan at all. I think if you can get this for 20% off or better, I think this is a great value, especially when you consider that new Speed Champions releases will be $25 just for a single car. $28 for 2 cars sounds like a whole lot better of a value proposition. I do question how broad the appeal for this set will be, since these are highly specialized F1 cars and not street cars. But at the end of the day, these 3 sets will be hanging around into 2024, so we'll have to talk about those in a different video. So what do you think? Do you agree with my analysis? Do you think this is bogus? Are you investing in any of these sets? And if so, how deep will you be going? I myself will be buying probably all of these sets at least in one copy for my own collection, but I'm going to wait a few months before deciding just how deep to go on this year's Speed Champions investments. If you want to see what happens with that, as well as my other LEGO investing adventures, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, it helps with the algorithm. I'm probably going to piss off a lot of brand loyalist fanboys with this video. Looking forward to reading the comments on this one.